You're listening to the Sunday Aftermath on Tab Radio Racing and Sport.
Yes, the boys are in the studio about to join us for Racing Rewind. But first, we catch up with Darren McCauley. Very good morning, Cobb. How are you this morning?
Yeah, pretty good, all things considered, Marty. Thanks indeed, and a very, very heartfelt thanks to you personally for your support yesterday. You were the first into the broadcasting box, and that will always be remembered. And to everybody that's text or called overnight, I can't thank you enough, really. I mean, it was a mistake made. It was an embarrassing one for me personally, but it has been rectified. We've redone the final part for posterity for all those concerned, particularly the owners, the hyphenator, and the trainers as well. And, you know, it was with great regret it happened. How it happened, I couldn't give you even an answer, or try to, Marty, because it's just one of those things that's happened to other broadcasters ever since commentating started, particularly in our field, which is not an easy one, as I think most people would recognise, but it's something that you don't want to happen in a big Group 1 race like that. And, you know, you'll always have that sitting on your CV. But anyway, we move on very, very quickly and just say thank you to everybody that has been supportive. I suppose one thing, Marty, as you well are aware, I'm not on social media, and I believe that there's been an avalanche there, and the negativity is pretty strong amongst some, but I guess they're negative about everything, and they're, you know, critical of all things. So, but for those that really matter most, and they are largely from within the industry, it's been incredibly supportive, and I do thank everyone from the bottom of my heart.
Yep, that's good to hear, Mac, that you've taken it that way. It's the only way you could. You had to get yourself up to do that last race. It was all about compartmentalising from there, and as you said, the last thing you want to do in the world is make a mistake in any race, but not, and particularly that one. But once you've done it, it's out there. You've done it.
Exactly, but the thing is, you don't really understand that you're doing it until that moment.
Yeah.
At that moment, I mean, it's a weird thing, and until you've done it, or you're in that position, you can't really find an explanation for it, Marty. And I thought, you know, going to the line, I'm calling the race the two horses who clearly I'm not familiar with, Soft Nation and Port Lockroy, not that that's an excuse, and they're not even similar in colour. But for whatever reason, the names look similar to me on the form guide. I don't quite know why. And then I split them apart. Everything had been going beautifully until the 200-metre mark. Mm-hmm. And then I just split the two horses. Somehow in my mind, they flipped.
Yep.
And I called the race as I thought I was seeing it, with those horses identified. There's a moment, I think, pretty much just before the line that I realised something isn't quite right.
Exactly, yeah. We watched that together and listened to it, and, you could just pick it, couldn't you? You could pick it. But what you said... and
it's just a moment,
Yeah, and listeners who haven't broadcast live sport maybe don't get it, but... I can remember calling games of footy and just say, I've been calling Lockie Taylor, Michael Heaton, and you don't even know, and then all of a sudden, you know, Percy would say to you at three-quarter time, you know you called Lockie Taylor, Michael Heaton 3 times. And you said, no, I didn't. He said, well, go back and listen to the tape, mate. You did.
Yeah.
So you're doing it, but you don't even know you're doing it.
No, that's right. It's all in the subconscious.
Yep.
And it's only after the race. I mean, I did go in next door to the judges and spoke to Tommy Bell and Benny Williamson just to have a quick listen back to the tape to make sure. I thought, gee, I hope I haven't made 2 mistakes here. One, you know, if I hadn't have done it, and I said to the boys in the studio as well, have I made the mistake? And they said, well, I don't know. They couldn't remember. Anyway, look, all that aside, there's one thing that I have learned over a long, long time talking to my senior peers in this position, and that is when a mistake is made, and it has happened to every one of them, you know, in ordinary races or even some good races at one time or another, is that you do have to own that mistake. You apologise unreservedly for the mistake because there's nothing else that you can do. There's not a rock big enough to hide under those circumstances. You can lament about it for as long as you like, but it serves you no good, I found. And then you've just got to move on and to the people directly that have been affected, in this case the connections of Port Lockroy and Sox Nation, but they know where their horses ran anyway. You just offer them an apology, and to those that backed either horse. And I had dinner with friends from Melbourne last night who did back Sox Nation. So, as my dear friend Susie Mills said, it'll be now framed and put on a wall in the home when you're coming around for dinner next. So,
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, you've just got to move on, Marty, and look for everybody. And there has been a lot of texts overnight from industry participants, from senior management and beyond, that have called or text just to say, look, keep your chin up, mate. We're supporting you, and you really, it's overwhelming. But to be honest, everyone, I'm fine.
Okay.
I've moved on very, very quickly there. A lot of things, Marty, as you also know, over the last 7 years have tested my character at times.
Yes.
And people aren't aware of those sorts of things. And they're big-ticket issues that have happened. And I think what it does, it helps you put everything into perspective very quickly.
Well, Purple Dog
was made, but move on.
Purple Dog is coming with a beauty. At the end of the day, we wake up this morning and still have the best race caller in the nation. Purple Dogger. Well done, Mac. Are you off to Bunbury today?
Oh, no, I have a little day off. I've got a lot of friends over from Victoria for the weekend, so they'll come over there and take the P155 out of me all afternoon over a couple of nice Pinots, I'd say, Marty.
How good is that? All the best, Mac.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for your care too yesterday. I really do appreciate it.
No worries.
To everybody that sent me a message, love you all. Thanks indeed.
There he goes, Darren McCauley.